Hello everyone, I welcome you all to this video presentation of the Codebasics Resume Project Challenge. Now this project was to present insights and recommendations to the Telangana tourism government so as to increase their revenue. As part of project submission, I am posting this video along with the GitHub repository of this project, and here goes the table of contents for this presentation. So the very first thing we will discuss is the problem statement, and let us head over to it. Alright, so Telangana, being one of the India's leading states in various sectors and tourism as well, has published its data under open data policy. Now as a data analyst, I took this opportunity to analyze the given data and did additional research and provide data informed recommendations to the government in order to improve the revenue. With that, we will move on to the next slide. With the problem statement clear, let us have a historical overview of Telangana. Telangana, the 29th state of India, is located in the southern part of the country. Now it being ruled over by many dynasties has lot of temples, forts, palaces built. The rich cultural heritage of this place makes it one of the most visited tourist destinations of South India. Now as we have a brief overview of the history of Telangana, we will look at the data. So we had two folders which contained domestic and foreign visitor data for year 2016 to 2019. I have mentioned the column description below. Now, apart from the data that was provided to us, I also did some additional research and collected the state demographics data. The column description is as follows. Here in the fourth bullet, you will see TSTDC, which means Telangana State Tourism Development Corporation, which as the name suggests is tasked with effective resource management to improve tourism in the state. With that, we will move on to the data cleaning and processing part. Alright, so here I have listed the steps that I performed to clean the data and process it before loading it to Power BI. The very last step is important as there were some districts that got renamed, and to make data consistent across my dataset, I made these changes as well. With that, we will move on to the overview of our Power BI dashboard. At the first glance, we notice that the domestic visitors have an overall declining trend with a very sharp decline in year 2017. But the good news comes from the foreign visitors as we see a steady increase in the number. This can be attributed to the promotion of MICE and medical tourism in the state. Now, as far as the contribution of visitors go, the domestic visitors account for 99.7% of the total tourism, while the foreign visitors account for 0.3%. With that, we will move on to the next slide. Alright, so in this visual, we see Hyderabad with 47 tourist spots as denoted by these depth lines, has the highest footfall of both the domestic and the foreign visitors. While districts like Rangareddy, Suryapet and Vikarabad have no visitors at all, although they have 25, 23 and 17 tourist spots respectively. Districts like Bhadradri Kothagudem, Hanamkonda, Jagtial and Rajana Serkala do see domestic footfall, but they have no foreign visitors. Don't worry, we will talk about how to tackle these issues in the later part of the video. Alright, so let us head over to the research questions and present our insights and recommendations for the same. Alright, so the very first research question is to list the top 10 districts that have the highest domestic visitors overall. And here you see the visual. Let us move on to the insights and recommendations for this. Hyderabad, being the state capital, has the highest domestic visitor. It has several historic sites that attract tourists. Also being a major business and education hub, this contributes to the high domestic visitor rate in the city, as they may combine business and educational trips with leisure activity. Rajana Sarkala has 41.76 million domestic visitors, which can be an attribute of this district having a lot of temples. It also has several lakes and reservoirs, and people from across the nation are interested in bird watching, boating, and hiking in these natural areas. Warangal Fort, which is built in the 13th century, is a popular tourist attraction and is situated in Hanamkonda, which has 30.73 million domestic visitors. Now, people are also interested in experiencing the local culture and cuisine of this district. So, overall, Telangana state government has employed a proactive approach and has launched several initiatives to promote tourism. These top 10 districts have benefited from such initiatives that has contributed to high domestic visitor footfall in the state. Alright, so the next question is to list down the top slash bottom three districts based on compounded annual growth rate of visitors between 2016 to 2019. Now, CAGR is a term of economics that represents annual growth of an investment over a specific period of time. Now, we see that the top three districts with the high CAGR are Mancherial, Warangal, and Bhadradri Kottagudem, while the bottom three are Karimnagar, Nalgonda, and Hanamkonda. With that, we will move on to the insights and recommendation. So, Mancherial being well connected via roads, that is 111 kilometers of state highway and railways, has the highest CAGR. It is home to several forest and wildlife sanctuaries and is also significant to the tribal population of Vindhyachal region who participate in various cultural activities like jataras in the area. Warangal and Bhadradri Kottagudem are at the second and third spot as they have places of rich cultural heritage. Overall, these districts cater to every kind of tourist, from nature lovers and history buffs to religious pilgrims and adventure seekers. We see Karimnagar had a declining rate of -79.63%, has only seen 0.1 million domestic visitor in 2019 as compared to 9.2 million in 2016. The state government has allocated 100 crore rupees for the Manyar river front to boost tourism in this district. More TSTDC units can be set up and an assessment of 17 tourist spots should be done in order to ensure more footfall. Nalgonda and Hanamkonda have also seen a declining trend in domestic visitors from 2016 to 19. Now this can be due to lack of promotion as compared to the other districts and other destinations in Telangana. Places like Nagarjun Sagar Dam, which is India's largest masonry dam, is situated in Nalgonda, should be advertised well in order to attract more visitors. Now there are no foreign visitors in Karimnagar and Nalgonda, although they have 17 and 21 tourist spots respectively. Factors affecting this can be lack of infrastructure, poor administration and management, and also transportation facilities. So the government should create a work plan and optimize funds in order to attract more foreign visitors in these districts. Okay, so the next question is what are the peak and low season months for Hyderabad based on data from 2016 to 2019? And here is the visual. Let us look at the insights for this. Hyderabad is always a pleasant city to visit at any time of the year, but it experiences highest number of visitor footfall in June as it gets less warm and breezy during this time as we expect monsoons. Additionally, schools and colleges have a break during June and many Indian families plan their vacations during these times. Now, the least footfall is noticed during February to March, which can be attributed to the high temperature. Now, the Telangana government can take several steps to attract more visitors during the low season months. For example, there are 8 TSTDC units spread across Hyderabad. These units can organize indoor events like food festivals, music concerts, art galleries, and museum tours to attract more visitors. The government can also improve its marketing and advertising efforts during the low season by collaborating with travel bloggers and influencers in order to attract more visitors. MICE, which is meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibition, is an important segment of the tourism industry in Hyderabad. Now, discounted rates, collaboration with event organizers, and promoting business facilities during the low season months can also help in attracting more visitors. With that, we will move on to the next question. Alright, so the next question is to list down the top and bottom three districts with high domestic to foreign visitor ratio. And here is the top three. We have Hyderabad, Warangal, and Mulgu. And at the bottom three, we have Adilabad, Janagaon, and Nirmal. Alright, so let us look at the insights and recommendations for this question. So as we saw, Hyderabad, Warangal, and Mulgu are the top three districts with low domestic to foreign ratio, which indicates that the tourist spots in these districts are equally exposed to both domestic as well as foreign visitors. Now, the low ratio is also an indicator of increased tourism revenue as foreign visitors tend to spend more money on their travels. Adilabad, Jangaon, and Nirmal are at the bottom with high domestic to foreign ratio, and Adilabad and Jangaon have no TSTDC units and a rural percentage of 76.34 and 87.40, which indicates that these places have limited transportation and infrastructure options, which makes it very difficult for the foreign visitors to access and explore tourist spots in these districts. Although rural areas can also offer unique and authentic cultural experiences that can be very attractive to the foreign visitors. For example, rural areas may be known for their natural beauty, traditional crafts, or unique cuisine. Highlighting these distinctive qualities and marketing them effectively, the rural areas can attract a diverse range of domestic as well as foreign tourists. Encouraging residents to set up homestays can help foreign visitors understand and appreciate the local culture and can increase their comfort level, hence attracting an equal number of visitors. With that, we will move on to the next question. So the next question is to list down the top and bottom districts based on population to tourist footfall ratio in 2019. And here we have the visual representing the top 10 and the bottom 10 districts. Alright, so let us look at the insights and recommendations for this question. So Rajana Circula is at the top, which indicates that tourist spots in this district are attracting a lot of visitors and it has a thriving tourism industry. This high ratio is an indicator of increase in economic benefits such as increased employment, higher revenue for businesses, and tax revenue for the government. On the contrary, a low ratio represents lack of tourism activity in the district, which means missed economic opportunities for the local communities. This also indicates the lack of awareness or interests in the tourist spots or challenges with marketing and promoting the tourist spots effectively. So the tourism department should provide a new tourism experience like cultural tourism, adventure tourism, ecotourism, wellness tourism in order to accommodate more tourists in the bottom 10 districts. It can also deploy tourist information kiosks at major cities, airport, bus and train stations in order to spread awareness about the attractions and the tourist spots present in these areas so that visitors can add these places to their travel itinerary as well. With that, we will move on to the next question. So the next question is, what will be the projected number of domestic and foreign visitors in Hyderabad for 2025 based on the growth rate from previous years? So for this question, I used time series forecasting using the stats model library, and the model that I trained on was Sarima because the time series had seasonality and trend. More on this would be in the GitHub repository link that I will be attaching in this post, so you can find that. With that, we will move on to the insights and recommendations of this question. So we see a steady increase in the foreign visitors and we can expect 7.85 lakh foreign visitors in Hyderabad for 2025. Although there is a lot of variation in the domestic visitor footfall for each year, but we can expect 4.54 million domestic visitors for 2025. Now this forecasting will enable government to plan and develop infrastructure, that is improve transportation, accommodation such as hotels, guest houses, hostels and homestays. Also can install tourist information centers which can address to visitors doubt and queries, and can hire guides which will provide detailed tour of tourist attractions in Hyderabad. With that, we will move on to the next question. So the next question is, what will be the projected revenue for Hyderabad in 2025 based on average spend per visitor? Assuming that foreign visitor spends 5600 rupees and domestic visitor spends 1200 rupees on an average. So we see that the domestic visitors will spend 54.50 billion rupees and the foreign visitors will spend 4.40 billion rupees in year 2025 for Hyderabad. With that, we will move on to the next question. Districts with highest potential. So according to me, the very first district is Hyderabad, followed by Warangal, then Bhadradri Kottagudem and Mancherial. Let us look at the next slide to know why. Hyderabad, being the capital of the state, has the highest potential as it is a major hub for MICE and medical tourism along with several historical sites. Warangal also has a high potential as it has rich historical significance and is home to several ancient temples and forts. Setting up of TSTDC units and promoting tourist spots in this place will attract high tourist footfall. Now Bhadradri Kottagudem, which has a population of 1.07 million, saw a total of 21.60 million domestic visitors and no foreign visitors. It has several famous Hindu temples and also has places of scenic beauty, waterfalls and historic landmarks. Now these places need to be advertised using platforms like Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. And also brochures and flyers should be handed out at airports, bus and railway stations, and hotels in the major cities to attract foreign tourists so they can have a rich, authentic rural experience. Mancherial, which had the highest CAGR of 225.80%, indicates significant growth. Now, tourism department should plan on setting up of TSTDC units and evaluating factors that have contributed to the growth and build on them to further promote tourism in this region. Overall, all these districts cater to every kind of tourist, from nature lovers and history buffs to religious pilgrims and adventure seekers, and hence they promise highest potential. With that, we will move on to the next question. So here is the next question. Cultural slash corporate events to boost tourism. What kind of events, which months, and in which districts? Alright, so let us look at the insights and recommendations for this. Following are the events that can boost tourism. Handicrafts exhibition. Telangana is known for its handicrafts like Bidrivari, Pochampalli saris, etc. Organizing exhibitions to showcase the craftsmanship can attract art lovers. Places where this can be conducted is Hyderabad, Warangal, Karimnagar, and Nirmal, and during the low season months to boost the footfall. Cultural festivals like organizing Bonalu, Bathukama, or even Kutub Shahi Tombs Festival can attract a lot of tourists. Places where this can be done is Hyderabad, Sikandrabad, and in many other districts as well. Now, adventure sports. Telangana has many adventure sports opportunities like trekking, paragliding, and water sport. Places like Anantagiri Hills in Vikarabad, Warangal Fort in Hanamkonda, Bhongir Fort in Yadadri Bhongir, Nagarjun Sri Selam Tiger Reserve, which is spread across 5 districts, Pocharam Wildlife Sanctuary, which is in Medak, and Konda Pochama Sagar in Hyderabad. And hosting events in these districts during low season months will attract adventure seekers. With that, we will move on to the next slide. So the next question is, can Hyderabad emulate Dubai model? Let us look at the insights and recommendation. So Hyderabad can take inspiration from Dubai's tourism model. It is important to note that both cities have unique characteristics and challenges. While Dubai's tourism success is a result of a combination of factors such as its strategic location, strong government support, world-class infrastructure, and focus on luxury tourism, the Dubai tourism model is based on a long-term vision for sustainable tourism growth and development. Hyderabad can focus on its strength, such as its rich history, cultural heritage, and emerging tech hub status to create a unique tourism identity. Developing world-class infrastructure, enhancing safety and security, and promoting niche tourism such as medical and MICE will help in boosting tourism in Hyderabad. Additionally, Hyderabad can invest heavily in marketing and promotions, building its brand as a leading destination for tourism and business. The government can implement policies to facilitate travel and ease visa requirements while providing a safe and secure environment for the visitors. With that, we will move on to the next question. So the next question is to provide all other recommendations that can boost tourism in Telangana, particularly Hyderabad. Let us look at the insights and recommendations. We have the history and culture, but no proper facilities and infrastructure for visitors to visit them. Hence, it is very important to invest in the development of infrastructure that can cater to the needs of visitors. We should ensure access to basic amenities like clean water and sanitation. There is no air connectivity in Telangana except Hyderabad. Government has proposed development of new airports at 3 locations, Warangal, Adilabad and Jakranpalli, which will be a big push to tourism activity. Now, Telangana has several rural areas, around 14.92 thousand villages, which have rich cultural heritage, and promoting rural tourism can be a way to showcase these traditions and promote sustainable tourism. Additionally, government can support the development of homestays in rural areas by providing subsidies, tax incentives, and other benefits. This can be promoted through awareness campaigns and outreach programs. Now, steps should be taken to restore the ancient splendor of monuments. This can be done with the coordination of the Archaeological Survey of India. Telangana has many hills, forests, and water bodies that are ideal for adventure activities like trekking, rock climbing, rafting, etc. Adventure sports like rock climbing, bungee jumping, zorbing, trekking, kayaking, paragliding, and zip lining will attract a lot of visitors. With that, we will move on to the next slide. Also, ensuring safety and security for the visitors is crucial to building their trust and attracting more visitors to the city. This can be achieved by increasing police presence, installing CCTV cameras in tourist areas, and improving the lighting and signage. the government should invest funds in order to develop world-class convention centers and facilities that can accommodate large-scale MICE events. Hyderabad medical tourism and MICE model should be replicated to districts like Warangal by developing partnerships with hospitals, travel agents, and hotels to create medical tourism packages for visitors. Also, the government should promote Hyderabad as a hub for specialized medical treatments such as organ transplants, IVF, dental procedures, etc. With that, we have reached the end of the presentation. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Dhaval sir and Hemanand sir, also the Codebasics team, for providing us with yet another opportunity to showcase our skills. I would also like to congratulate and wish every fellow participant the best. With that, thank you for sticking by. Have a nice day.